Before we jump into this episode, we wanted to take a moment to reflect on everything that's happened over the past few months. What started as a routine haul out quickly turned into one of the toughest experiences we've ever faced. Between the damage to Escapade, looks like we're not going back in the water, guys, a lengthy insurance dispute, mounting boatyard bills, and then being struck by lightning in the middle of it all, it's taken a huge toll on us, both financially and emotionally. For the past 5 years, Escapade has been so much more than just a boat. She's been our home, the first home we've ever owned together, and the place where we've learnt how to sail, travel to over 30 countries, crossed oceans, rescued our cats, built a YouTube channel, and created memories we'll never forget. There were moments where it genuinely felt like everything we built over the past 5 years was slipping away. Getting through this chapter has tested us in ways we never expected, but it also reminded us just how incredible this community is and how grateful we are to have your support. For months, we waited, hoping for answers, waiting for decisions, and believing things would finally move forward.
Day 3,582 in the boatyard. It feels like it anyway. So not much is going on with insurance. It's been a very, very slow process. Their insurance has denied the claim, saying we have osmosis and pre-existing damage to the boat, which is a complete and utter lie.
But eventually, we realised we couldn't keep putting our lives on hold. So, despite the financial burden, we made the decision to stop waiting and move forward with the repairs ourselves. It wasn't an easy decision, but after months of uncertainty, it was the only one that made sense. We can't change what's happened, but we can choose what happens next. With some tough lessons learned, it's finally time to put this chapter behind us and begin getting Escapade back to where she belongs.
Alright, we haven't really been filming too much lately. We've been a bit down in the dumps, fiberglass work and everything, but we are reinstalling the cutlass bearing today. The one we ordered was wrong. Actually, Tom's just getting to it already. It's just sliding through, which is great. It's a very odd size for a Genu 40. A little bit of a learning curve. We ended up having to order the part from Europe and it cost quite a bit of money just to get it here. Yeah, I'll leave the link in the description so you guys get the right part if you have this boat and you need to change your cutlass bearing. And yeah, geez, it's going in really well.
Much better than the last one.
No force required.
Not really.
Dude, I am so happy. That's it.
Give it a little love tap, but yeah.
Wow. The other one was 0.5 mil too big and it just would not budge.
It's right when you get the right size.
Beautiful, man.
What you doing back there?
Well, we're just taking the fuel tank out to get everything ready for this section to be fixed. So we're gonna have to get the fuel tank out, we're gonna have to get this plank of wood out, which is gonna be really, really fun to do. The battery needs to come out, all the wiring needs to come out. So yeah, we're just plodding along with that at the moment. And then hopefully Jose, who we've got a quote off to do the job, he's supposed to be the expert here from what we know. He's gonna come and fix our boat. That's the plan. We're struggling with these hoses because they probably haven't been off ever before. So some of them are just really, really tight on there. So we're gonna get a bit of heat to them and just like a hairdryer around it, because we don't have a heat gun, and that should break the seal, and we should be able to twist it and pull them off. Managed to get these two off, but yeah, that one's a bit of a struggle there too.
I think you're gonna need more heat. You're getting some movement. Twist back. Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Cool, man. Right. fuel tank is out. It's a bit dirty under there, so we'll give it a good clean. But yeah, that actually wasn't too difficult. So good. So this is what we used to get the fuel out. It was so easy. So you attach a drill to this bit. This black hose is hooked up to the fuel line, which connects to a little, what do you call those? Reducers? Something to 9mm connector to a garden hose. This is a garden hose connection, and then yeah, that drill goes in there, and then we filled up the jerry cans one by one. So there's still a tiny bit of fuel in there. We just want to see if there's any contamination inside the fuel tank itself. So we are going to pour it directly into an empty fuel can, which is already dirty. So don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. All good. You need a hand?
You grab that side. You grab the knob.
Oh yeah, looks dirty but man. Okay, I'm just gonna put my hand on this one. I'm gonna put my hand on that one, but the fuel looks disgusting, dude. That looks disgusting. It does. Really bad.
Okay. Did I turn this? I have that right here. We're gonna turn this the other way.
Oh. So I don't need my finger on it?
Oh, this isn't gonna work either though.
No, just turn it back around. Cut.
No, this is the humorous part.
I got my finger on it.
Okay.
Oh, that's disgusting, dude. Yeah, get it. Oh, gross.
Well, that's 20 years of fucking...
We should probably clean it out, hey?
Yeah.
Look at that. Squirting.
All good?
Sweet, man. Yep.
Filthy.
Oh, wow.
This is where the fuel polishing solution comes into play. Or...
What if we can rinse it with something, put a cap on it, and just shake the
Yeah,
out of
absolutely. The only thing of concern is that this still has residual words speaking. Residual. The thing is filthy.
Man, what have you done?
Yeah, it's all
Are
good.
they your best shorts too?
Nah, not my best, but
They were your best, but not anymore.
Yeah, they sure were. Just like your best shorts and shirt.
Yeah, well,
you're wearing them today. Sorry, Janae. Sorry, Janae.
Alright, so what we did was take this line off here to get rid of the fuel. Before this line goes to the Raycor filter, that's your primer, and then that goes to your secondary diesel filter. So we decided to go through the Raycor so it cleaned the fuel before we put it in the jerry cans, and then we're also going to filter the fuel putting it back in. But yeah, so we just took this bit off. This connected to this bulb here, basically like that. And then we stuck the drill inside here, and then this bit went straight into the jerry can. Nice and easy. It took us about an hour to do once we got it all going. It's really hard to tell because you need this paint off really.
Yep.
To really check it, but I'll give it a good clean, I guess.
We should be able to see cracks through the paint.
Can't see any visual cracks so far.
So that's good. It may just be all the sludge and the dirt there.
Yeah, there was a couple I've just rubbed the cracks off conveniently.
Realistically, we're looking at the grid liner because that's where the separation would have happened. It wouldn't.
Oh yeah, the grid starts here.
Yeah.
It's only this section that's come apart. Basically,
Which one?
Just this section
Yeah.
here. That exactly where they lifted us.
Yeah.
I would not call that a bulkhead at all. It's not glass. This is not glassed onto anything.
Yeah.
And that's where they try to lift us. Yeah. Oh man. Maybe we can glass this onto this too though.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take this off and glass.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah, we need to take the wood battery box frame off. Hopefully it just disconnects here and it doesn't go underneath, but the other side clearly goes underneath.
This is all glassed here too.
Yeah.
Through here.
All the way back through that? Okay. Yeah, that's structural there.
And same here, this is all glass, that wall.
Mm-hmm.
This brush is perfect, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, very cut that silicone out.
Yep.
Movement, though.
Mm-hmm. I think silicone cut, and then you can possibly rotate it upward.
Yeah, the battery has to come out.
Yep. So battery needs to be moved. The washing machine needs to be moved. We need to finish emptying stuff out of here.
You're wet, man.
Yeah, I am.
But they make these boats to never come apart. That was an absolute mission. They've siliconed all inside this channel here with some, I nearly guarantee it's 5200 or very similar. The whole way through here, and man, that has taken us a day and a half just to get this one panel out. So yeah, what's next is this little one here, this one, and then we've got full access to the grid section, which is technically all this battery box, this section here, all this section. Yep. Cool. After I don't know how many hours, but we finally got the. I shouldn't really say that. You speak, Tom. Say it better than how I said it.
No, that took way too much effort. Why couldn't we have just cut it apart?
For no reward.
Yeah.
Man, we're getting there. That's so close.
What'd you make here?
Bon appetit, mate. Gone all out. Made noodles, which is our go-to. We haven't had it in a while, actually.
No, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, we've been too busy making prawns
A mess.
and steak and potatoes and pretty yummy food.
Yep.
I think, anyway. I'm not sure if Tom thinks.
Nah, it's been delicious.
Alright, Tom is leaving us today, so we've decided to do something a little bit different. We found an abandoned house, and we're just going to have a little abandoned house party with the crew in here. And I don't know, we've kind of got a really good crew here of just young people, and just, we're completely different personalities, but we all get along really well together. So yeah, we've got like a circus band crew next to us, next door, which is, they kind of bring the party. And then you've got us, and then Jack and that, and hopefully it's going to be a good night.
It will be a good night.
But the saddest part is Tom's leaving us. But he's going to be back soon, hopefully.
Yeah, Pacific next year.
So I won't cry yet.
It was time for Tom to head back to the US and onto some new adventures of his own. At the same time, Jason's Panamanian visa was about to expire, which meant we had another unexpected cost and logistical headache to figure out: how to leave the country and return without spending a fortune. Luckily, the boys managed to jump aboard a mate's boat and help with the transit through the Panama Canal. It was a cool opportunity and the perfect way to get to Panama City, where Jace could fly out for a few days and reset his 90-day visa.
How artistic this place is and how beautiful the city is. I had to leave Panama because my visa ran out. So Medellin was the cheapest place for me to get a flight. So here I am. It was end up being like 115 each way and very cheap for hotels. I didn't want to do too much here because I want to experience it with Janae, but I wanted to do at least something. So I have decided to go to Comuna 13 and check out all the art here. There's plenty more things we can do, but yeah.
At the same time, I was beginning my journey back from Australia. As we now know, I wouldn't be meeting the boys in French Polynesia like we had originally planned. After everything that had happened, it felt like it was time to get back so we could figure out our next move together and finally start making some real progress on these repairs. Okay, so we have Julio, the guy that we decided to hire to complete the repair job. Him and his worker have started 2 days ago. What have they done so far?
So they've cut out the grid inside the bedroom. So the battery box that Tom and I were working on that we've ripped out, they've basically cut all that section out and they're going to remold a new grid for that section. But at the moment, we can't get any more work done until they move our boat. But what's happened is the owners of this yard have just left and they said they're not hauling in or out any boats or not moving any boats for the next month without any notice at all. So we're trying to get our boat straightened because they put us down on a monster angle.
We're on a lean to one side, basically, so... Yeah.
And Julio's like, we need the boat straight, and it would be nice for like our sanity to have the boat straight also.
We're really frustrated. It's just like things just keep getting worse and worse, basically. Just trying to work with this boatyard who are just being really unresponsive, ignoring our messages, just being pretty horrible, to be honest. And I think to them, they just think, oh, well, you're just a boat. And to us, it's like our entire life and our livelihood, our home and everything like that. So it's been pretty crappy. We've been feeling a bit shit, haven't we? We go through the motions of feeling depressed and then...
roller coaster of emotions and then excited for 5 minutes because work's finally getting done to the boat.
And then that just like, it's like that little balloon just gets popped 5 minutes later because something else happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That little bubble gets burst.
Yeah, and we've been here for months. It's just waiting on insurance because it's just taken forever. And yeah, obviously their insurance is fighting our claim over statements compared to our certified surveyor. Don't know how that works, but they've denied our claim. So we've just got to pay for it ourselves, and I think we're going to fight it because we know we're not wrong. We've got so much evidence to point that it was the yard.
It was, improper lifting, uneven load and everything like that. And they're trying to claim that we have pre-existing damage because they grinded some holes in the hull and some water came out that was trapped in a void, and that's all it was. It wasn't water coming out of the fiberglass itself. And they're trying to say that we've either got osmosis or moisture, basically.
Yeah.
So, but we can see that the fiberglass is completely fine. They've just lifted us incorrectly. So Jason was just telling me that the stands that they have on the boat are in the incorrect position around the keel. So there's another thing. And we have some friends that also got lifted after they also had their boat on the stands, and what happened? It cracked like along the...
Yeah, it's because it was in the wrong spot. He actually did some keel work, but because one of the chocks was in way too far back, it was like weighted incorrectly or whatever.
Weighted incorrectly. Yeah.
So it lifted like a 2 or 3 mil and you had to redo the whole job. Had to get it moved and redo the whole job again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing's stupid. I really dislike this yard at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll never come back here.
No, and would not recommend it to anyone else, that's for sure. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Yeah. So we have just gone and asked again for the guys that work on the trailer if they can level our boat out, and they said they can't get in contact with the owners and they don't have authorization to move the boats and to go and talk to the office ladies. So we went in there and tried to talk to them, which is obviously quite difficult to do because we're trying to translate between Spanish and English, which is not their fault. We're in a Spanish speaking country, so we completely understand that. But basically we've just been told that there's no way of contacting the owners, they're away on vacation, which we know is not true because there's no way you can run a business and just leave for 4 weeks without being in contact with people that work at your business. So there is definitely a way that they can contact them. And yeah, basically just they're not going to be touching our boat, and we just have to wait here for 3 or 4 weeks for them to get back, which means we can't continue with repairs. We had no prior notice of anything like this happening, so we couldn't try and organise ourselves before they left, otherwise we would have asked them before they left. And we're just so frustrated. It just feels like it's one thing after the other, and I'm just like starting to just rage inside. Like, makes me so angry. Like, I just don't think they understand how much they've upset our entire plans and our whole life by damaging our boat, and they're taking no responsibility. They have like no remorse about anything. They're trying to put all the blame on us. They're not communicating with us. They're just honestly being horrible. Like, just horrible, horrible people. That's all I can say.
Colors dancing on the surface as the morning's taking shape. Right here, everything is perfect. Knowing it will never be the same. It's in the way my heart beats fast.
Good morning. So, we have a little bit of news. Good news, hopefully. Julio, he just came and talked to the yard guys, and they have agreed that they will level our boat out as long as we sign papers saying that it's not their responsibility, which Jason just made a good point. They're not going to take responsibility for anything regardless. We already know that because of what's happened with insurance. So at this point, we might as well take the risk. It only needs to be leveled a small amount. It's not like it has to be fully lifted out of the way with all of the posts taken away. So it should be completely fine. Obviously, we'll be telling them where to lift the boat this time as well, because we know where the stringers and bulkheads are, and yeah, which means they'll be able to keep going with work, which is amazing. So even though we won't be able to get moved into the water until they're back, I'm assuming, because that's like a proper big move, at least we'll be ready to go as soon as they get back, and the day that they're back we'll be able to get moved into the water. Instead of waiting till they're back just to get moved, then, you know, another 10 days to finish the work and all of that. So yeah, good news. Fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly, and yeah, we can finally get on the move with the rest of this work. What are your thoughts?
Nervous now.
Oh, you said you weren't nervous.
I'm nervous now.
Yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking. I'm glad you went and talked to them though.
This is where they lifted us, like this section from here to over here, and there is, like, you can feel there's nothing. Like, it's just fiberglass, no bulkhead until you get to here. Can you hear the difference?
Yeah, you can.
Like, it's just stupid. I wish they just asked or something beforehand.
If they were unsure, yeah.
Because I mentioned to him, I'm like, we got a bulkhead here, which they missed by like this much, and it put a crack in our boat because of it.
Yeah.
Or we got a bulkhead back there. But the thing is, I don't even know if they can get the pads back that way. Really hoping they can, otherwise we can't get lifted.
Well, if they can't, then doesn't that just prove the point that
the trailer's not sufficient to lift boats?
Alright, so we've just been down there talking to the guys after Jason was kind of figuring out where the bulkhead and the stringers were. They basically said that they could just lift us with like the stands. I think they've probably got a few that have like a hydraulic pump in them where they can just like even us out a little bit. But Jason kind of made a good point that we should be attempting to see if they can actually lift us with the pads in the correct position on our boat where the bulkheads and the stringers are, because there's no point waiting until we've finished all the repairs, we're about to go back in the water, and then they just can't lift us where they need to be lifting us, and then what's the point? We're stuck here, basically. We have been told that they used to have extra supports on the trailer and that they're broken. They used to lift catamarans like that, and they should be lifting our boat like that technically, because of where our bulkheads sit. So I think that just kind of proves a point that then they're improvising and not really lifting correctly with enough supports. So we're going to allow them to lift today and take it very slowly and be very precise and make sure they only lift us where supports are and see if it can be done, basically. So here goes. We have signed a form to say that we release any responsibility from Panamarina because the owners aren't here. So I guess that's just saving their bum. But Jason made a good point. I think I said it before. They're probably not going to take any responsibility anyway. We've already seen what's happened. So what's the difference? We might as well just get this show on the road. Very nervous, but fingers crossed. Make sure they don't touch anything until you make sure it's in the right spot. Don't just let them rush into it, please. Do you want me just to go ask someone to translate?
Yeah, Yannick's, I think Yannick's coming. Here.
You need to make sure it's right at the front then too.
Yeah, that's
Probably not going to work. And that's even. It can't be uneven. It's further over that side right now. It's crooked.
yeah, that's right. They're going to straighten up.
Oh God, I'm worried.
Oh.
I'm undoing it. There's not much holding it right now. There's only 3 supports holding it.
Yeah, and that one's a bit sketch.
I think it's pretty good. Maybe slightly that way.
¿La cabeza o esto? ¿Allá o acá?
No, that one.
Esto para allá.
Un poquito.
Poquito si se puede. Poquito. Esto.
They're just getting closer and closer on one side with the wheels.
Habla.
That's more simple, but the
Front's not right, is that?
Ya está mucho mejor, pero ahorita no hay que correr la vez.
This is really nerve-wracking. Hope so.
Yeah.
Ahí, esto. Bien.
Really?
Let's get much better than this.
Yeah, that's good.
That looks uneven to me, but anyway.
It's because the boat's lean.
Yeah, probably. The keel's uneven, hey? That's true. It's kind of like makes it look different. Well, as they get them to lift the pads up close and then double check before they put it on. Alright, Jason's just going inside to check. Everyone's coming over. So this is the difference of where this pad is going to go. This is where it was last time.
Si no lo vamos a subir, nada más estamos aquí recto. Dale. Voy allá, termino aquí, voy allá. Sí, a la mañana.
Get them to move the other pad too, so you can see where it's going to sit.
Quiere que esto de aquí. Ahí lo hicimos ese día y tranquilo. No podemos, vamos a ponerlo ahí, señor. Usted tiene que llevarlo. ¿Lo quiere ahí? Ahí está, wow. No sé.
Oh, me too. Oh, you might need to move that mat. Throw the mat out of the way. Yeah, just chuck it. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, that's how much of a lane we're on.
Yeah, the bubble's fully to the left.
Thank you, guys.
There's this old mechanic bronze device in the boat which shows like...
And I want the underneath heel. I want the...
¿El nivel está bien? Bien.
So it's like...
Sí, todavía tienen que hacer así.
¿No?
tiny. That's probably pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Perfect.
Just stop for a second. See the ones under the keel there? I want that to the bolt. This in line with my keel.
Alright, so they have our boat level. We've got a level at the back there on the sugar scoop. And what do they do with the keel?
They just move the supports under the keel forward so that it's not creating a lever against the glass.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so they're just going up now to pop a bit of water on the boat to make sure it's just like tilted back that tiny bit so the water drains off, which is pretty normal.
Thanks for the help, guys.
Much better. What was that, sorry? Yeah.
Perfect.
Say something about side supports if you want it somewhere. Speak up, Jason.
Yeah, well, they're going to do it now, I think.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I want the side supports on.
You want all before they really let go?
I just one either side, maybe.
It's not us, it's the trailer. Yeah. It's just...
When there's like air or something on the hydraulic system.
Oh yeah, like pops kind of thing, yeah. Hopefully they can still actually move us like that. I hope
Feels so weird being straight now.
It'll be so nice.
So unnatural. Be like,
So
what?
nice. We should have
I have
asked
to
him.
get used to this.
Jason should have asked him to do it like ages ago, just to be even. Like, but we were scared though. We were like, we didn't want them to touch the boat. We were like, yeah.
So we got a stringer that runs through here. It's only got support in the sections where Janu thought it needed the support. So yeah, there's nothing here. There's a bulkhead here, right? But there's nothing else here. It's just fiberglass. And then there's nothing else until this spot here. So there's literally no support. And there's only a grid section for the engine here. That grid section here only supports the engine and that's it. It's not actually structural support for the boat.
After a bunch of research for this repair, we asked them to use an epoxy resin rather than polyester. Epoxy has better adhesion to existing fiberglass, lower shrinkage as it cures, and generally gives a stronger bond between the new laminate and the original hull. Since we're repairing a structural area of the boat, we wanted to use a stronger option rather than just replacing what was originally there. Here you can see the first stage of the repair where the grid had cracked away from the surrounding structure. They've rebuilt this section with multiple layers of fiberglass and epoxy, bonding it back into the existing structure. And because of the way they've reinforced it, this repaired section is actually stronger than the original construction from when the boat was manufactured. Okay, here is day, don't know what, 3 or 4 progress. They have fiberglass this piece back in, which is basically part of the grid section, and what the batteries, like there was a battery box basically built in like on top of this, and then that's the bed base behind there. Yeah, so they've done a lot of fiberglassing work. You can see here too, that's the old, like that's where they've sanded the paint back, so obviously they'll be repainting all this area as well when they're finished, but it's looking pretty good. Not that I really know what I'm looking at, but can't wait for it to be done.
Right, we're getting this section glassed now, where the holes were originally, from where they damaged our boat.
For the final layer, they cut the fiberglass to match the entire area that's been sanded back. Each piece of fiberglass is first laid onto a mat where they wet it out with epoxy resin and use a roller to work the resin through the fibers. They then transfer the wet laminate onto the hull and roll it again, making sure the fibres are completely saturated and working out any trapped air bubbles. The process is repeated layer by layer until they've rebuilt the thickness and strength of the original laminate. Barrier coat's going on, looking good. Alright, needs a good clean, but it's back together. Jason just needs to silicone down here because there's a big thick thing of silicone there previously. This is where the washing machine goes, so just to sort out the piping for that. And then, yeah, we can obviously stack everything back up in here. I've already just placed all this stuff back up here. This was all full of like fiberglass sanding. That's all cleaned now. The battery box area, I gave it okay clean, but it really needs a proper clean. Good morning. It is about 5:30 in the morning here, and we've been a bit restless all night because today is splash day, round 2, hopefully. We're feeling, I don't know, so many things have kind of sounded like they're going our way, and then something else kind of comes along and crushes that, so it's really hard to kind of get your hopes up about it, but hopefully all goes well. Hopefully we're able to splash. Got to go and pay the bill this morning, which comes to about $5,000 for nearly 4 months in the yard, which obviously we believe we shouldn't be paying, but the owners aren't here because they're away at the moment, and initially they weren't even going to let us go in this week until they were back next week, but all of a sudden they're allowing it, which I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Maybe they just want to get us out of here, and we want to get out of here just as much, really. So yeah, we're going to be fronting the bill, and I guess hoping that insurance goes through in the end and they play fair, which so far they haven't. Been a bit of a battle, but yeah, we're ready to just move on and get out of here regardless of what the outcome with that is. I spent all day cleaning yesterday. Jason installed the fuel tank and the cabinetry in the room, in the cabin where all the repairs were made. He's decided not to put fuel in because he kind of wants to keep the back of the boat where the pads are going to go as light as possible. I mean, obviously it should be able to be there, but we're just trying to be as safe as we possibly can just so we can get in the water. Yeah, we'll just either get them to help us just push us across with the dinghy or do it with ours over to a mooring ball, and then we can put the fuel back in the fuel tank, put everything back in that cabin once we're in the water, and then do a few more errands and we'll be ready to go. And I think we're gonna sail to the Saturn Blast and just enjoy that with no major timelines, I guess. Because it's been around 3.5 months since we anti-fouled the boat, we needed to give the hull a light scuff to reactivate the anti-fouling before going back in the water. Luckily, we used Total Boat anti-fouling, which allows you to do this. With some other anti-foul paints, we would have had to completely sand back the hull and repaint the entire bottom again, which would have been a huge extra job and expense. So Jason's just marked the areas where he wants to put the pads. Further back or?
Where the highest point of load is going to be. I want that pad centered to the highest point of load. But you want the trailer slightly further back. You've got a little bit of room. I would go slightly further back.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh god, I'm nervous.
Try.
I'm really nervous. Man. so nervous. Why?
Oh, because it's something hard out. Up!
Dile que suba un poquito. O baja ese. Ya.
Alright, they successfully lifted us, we installed the rudder, and we're heading down to the water. Fingers crossed. Oh my gosh, we're floating, guys. Floating!